What's going on, guys? Chad and Boondock. Come here, buddy. Hey, just wanted to say hello. Make a little update. Come here. Come on. Come here. You're more important than people think you are. A lot of people want to see more of this little boy. Look up there. Look. He needs a haircut. Hey, we're only making this video just to say hello to everybody. He's camera shy, and I am too. I'm not one for these videos. You know, it's kind of strange how this all happened. You know, it's late night here, and I've got some lights on inside the motorhome trying to make this video. We're back inside of the shop tonight. It's a little upsetting. I can't burn my wood stove when I'm inside the shop. It's just a fire hazard, and we have to sacrifice. So you might hear my little heater going, but for the next 2 days I'm gonna have to live on the grid. But it's okay. Tonight we're going to try something a little different. As you can see behind me, I've got a mess. I did my dishes earlier today. They've dried out. I'm going to put my dishes away, and then I'm going to cook up some dinner. And I'm going to show you the next, I'm guessing probably about the next hour of my life until this battery dies, of how I end an evening. You know, you may see, I don't know what you're going to see yet. But, what are you doing? Come here. We're going to cook up some dinner. Clean up a little bit. And just enjoy the freedom of this lifestyle. Y'all are here for a reason. Y'all know what I'm about. Most of y'all, I've got so many new subscribers that it boggles my mind to see how fast this channel is growing. I was watching, I've mentioned this in the past, but I was watching one of my wood stove videos a couple weeks ago, and in that video I observed my excitement of me having 50 subscribers. As of tonight, first of the year, well, we're on the 3rd of January 2015, I've got 1,225 subscribers as of right now. And I'd guesstimate that I'm getting 10-20 subscribers a day, and I feel that that's freaking crazy. I mean, it's awesome. I would have never expected this, and still with 99.9% positive feedback. And I'm getting a lot of questions. I'm getting a lot of interest in me making other videos, so this is what this one's about. I'm gonna try to touch on one being cooking in the RV. So I have to cook tonight. I'm hungry, so I gotta eat, and I'm gonna bring y'all along for that. But throughout this video, I'm gonna try to play with some editing skills, so you don't have to deal with all of the sitting around. And I'm gonna, you know, I'm new to this, and I'm hoping to find a viewer that might be able to help me some with learning some new skills. And man, it'd be really nice to find somebody that's local, that's in my area, that can really work with me here. And I'm willing to pay you for your time, you know, a couple of dollars. You know, I'm not a wealthy man by any means, but I'd be very willing to pay somebody minimum wage for their time to help me edit these videos and learn how to make a good video to where I can produce a better video for you guys. You know, when I started this, it was all done on a cell phone. I literally grabbed my iPhone, I made a video, and that was it. But now that I'm getting more views and more requests, I would love to be able to. I have the ideas, my mind is working, it's just my computer skills are lacking. So, nonetheless, we're gonna have some fun this evening, at least for the next hour or so. And I'm gonna try to compress this into the next 10-15 minutes for you guys. But so let's go. First off, we got to put some dishes away before we can start cooking. Alright, I just made the decision. We're going to cook some stir fry. I have the stir fry. Check that out, pretty neat, organized fridge. We got this stir fry yesterday. I had no idea what I was going to do with it. I made some chili yesterday. I attempted to make a video on that, but the video just didn't, I don't know. I don't want to say it didn't meet my standards. I have no standards when it comes to these videos, but it just, I wanted it to be a New Year's video and it didn't come up in time, so therefore I didn't post it. But we're gonna, the stir fry was gonna go into the chili. The chili was awesome, so don't I don't want you to think that that was the reason I didn't put up the video. But we are gonna cook up the stir fry. And with the stir fry, we're gonna put a favorite. You're watching this video for a reason. Chances are you live in a motorhome, or you are intrigued by the RV lifestyle. So if either or, this is something you're gonna experience living in a motorhome. Let me show you. Ramen noodles. This is not a health show. There's nothing good about this meal. Other than it's easy to cook. I prefer to use one of these filtered pitchers. This is a Brita pitcher. I normally use bottled water, but if I'm going to boil it anyway, there's no point in not using tap water. I have well water here, so that's fine, but I still filter all of my water just because I give it to the dog, or even when I'm cooking with it, it just makes me feel a little better. But so we'll let that filter. We'll add a little more to the pot that's already boiling. Turning this down. Cooking a lot faster than I expected it to. And And I know I'm not trying to cut onto this non-stick pan. I'm being very careful with that, but you gotta do what you gotta do. So while that's cooking and the water is boiling, I'll mention life is good. This life is very good. I know a lot of people that are watching these videos, they're not experiencing this life. You know, they're still living in big houses and or maybe less. I mean, I don't want to put out any kind of a stereotype here. I know my story is going to jump around here, but I want to mention that tomorrow I'm going to meet with a friend of mine. I don't know him well. I've only met him I met him one time in person, and we've kept contact through the internet. But you know, I feel like I live like a king. I truly do. And the guy that I'm going to meet tomorrow, when I met him, he was on a bicycle. And I was coming home. This was about a month ago. I was coming home from somewhere, not sure where. And I saw this guy on a bicycle with a trailer behind him, pulled off to the side of the road about a mile from where I live at. So I stopped and I asked him if he was okay, if he needed a tool, or you know what possibly could be wrong. And the chain had just jumped off of his gears, and nothing major. He didn't need anything from me, but we got to chatting and talking, and I noticed some of his gear. He had some camping gear, and everything that he had with him was just, I don't know, it intrigued me in some way. You know, the trailer that he was pulling was hand built, but it wasn't like anything you'd buy at a store. It was very well made, and you could tell the guy knew what he wasn't he knew what he was doing. So we talked for very few minutes and we went about our way. You know, he didn't need my assistance and we left. But just before we left, I asked him if there was any way for me to stay in touch with him and follow his journey, and you know, asked if I could help him in any way. And you know, he was very humble. He didn't want anything from me, and I admired that. You know, most people that you'll meet in that manner would beg and ask for anything they could get from you, and you know, he had no desire for any of that. So we left, and I got his information, and I followed him on. He gave me a Facebook page that I could follow, and so I did. And I read some of his posts, and you know, he actually mentioned me in one of his, you know, because he had a lot of followers that followed him that day or throughout his journey. He had actually traveled all across the United States of America on his bicycle. And that evening, he mentioned me in one of his posts that said, you know, he had met a guy that was interested in the lifestyle that he lives, which is the nomadic, off the grid, you know, just a different life than most of society. So ever since, we've just stayed in touch. You know, I've only talked to him that 5 minutes in person, but I've followed his posts on Facebook, and we've messaged a couple times here and there, and he's asked me to help him out in a way that, you know, really kind of caught me off guard when he made the request. You know, it humbled me because he doesn't know me. The guy doesn't know me at all. But he's, you know, he lives out of a tent. You know, he's traveling across the world, and his temporary residence right now is in our city, and he's decided that he wants to leave this country. And in order to leave the country, he needs to ship all of his belongings overseas because he can't take them on the plane, or, you know, he needs some fashion of doing this. So what we've discussed is building him a big old box. And he knows, you know, when we met, I told him, I said, I have a shop close by, and, you know, I have tools and materials. I said, I can help you, you know, what do you need, buddy? And, you know, just trying to be a good Samaritan. Well, this being 3 weeks later, he's taken me up on my offer, and he's asked if I'd be willing to help him build a big old box to ship his stuff across seas. And I was more than willing, you know, of course, yes, I'd love to help you. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to get up, and I'm going to meet him at his camp where he's set up in the nearby city. And I'm going to pick up some of his belongings, and I'm just going to store them here at my property for, I'm not sure exactly how long. I'm guessing, you know, a couple of weeks to a month while he gets his plans set up and determines what needs to be done for his trips, you know, to go over to England. But, you know, I'm still, as I sit here right now and tell y'all the story, I'm thinking about this in my mind of how humbling it is. You know, this guy doesn't know me. This guy doesn't know me at all. Just like y'all don't know me at all. But he's putting his trust in me to hold his guitar, his amplifiers, his camera equipment, his trailer that was home built. I mean, this trailer, and I'm going to ask his permission tomorrow when I go to meet him. Hopefully that y'all will see him in this video if he's willing to be a part of it. You'll see the craftsmanship that was involved in the building of his bicycle and trailer and all the equipment that goes along with his setup that he's used to travel across the United States of America and eventually into Europe. You know, I'm not one to explain the details of overseas and how all this works, but, you know, this is a big journey for this guy, and, you know, he has an amazing story that, of course, I'm not going to get involved in trying to explain. And, you know, like I said, hopefully he will allow me to share his story on this video, because I've followed him on Facebook for the last few weeks, and he's got one hell of a story. He really does. He's a very interesting guy, and his stories are amazing. You know, I enjoy hearing his. He's a songwriter, and he just tells a great story. I don't want to cut this out. The ham radio is going off, and it's late night like this. It can be very interesting. So I'm going to let this kind of play some too as as I cook. So I'm going to take a break from talking. I'm gonna let y'all listen to the radio for a minute.
But that general area, she certainly showed us that, Albemarle County for the first 3 days we were here. Then finally the fourth and fifth day we were up here at the lake and, made the bid and put a deposit down and drove back the next day.
Yeah, I understand. You make a decision and you hope. Anyhow, so yeah, there's lots of options out there, I'm sure, and as you say, or as next year probably will be a change. Though, is your son thinking of Piedmont still?
I do believe so, yes.
Yeah, this is a lot cheaper way to go, and I will say, statistically speaking, better. As it turns out, at least for UVA, I know the numbers, those students that transfer in from Piedmont to UVA do far better than the students that go straight to UVA.
I think a lot of that, and this is my thoughts anyway, is because many of those young adults, such as my son, probably will stay at home during those times. So they're less likely to get into some of the BS that they would get in the dorms. Partying on the weekends, God knows doing what. Just keeping odd hours and things like that, and getting out and getting liquored up, and, going here, going there. I'm not saying that they would be completely, confined to the house, but I think they have more of a chance to sort of mature. So that 2 years, into it, what does that make them? About 20, 21 in some cases? They're a little more mature in how to develop those bad habits.
Yeah, it could well be. It could well be that that's part of it. I don't know, how they developed that statistic. Of course, this was Piedmont trying to sell itself as the place to go. Anyhow, they do have a nice exchange program so that if you do well at Piedmont, you're guaranteed getting into the bigger schools. It is sometimes difficult to get into the bigger schools anyhow.
Yeah, roger that. Roger that. I just heard the Savannah computer kick on. When I'm doing this sneaking up to his driveway. I told him he should sit in the car.
Okay. You really think he's like that, huh? Sitting out in the car. Well, he is dedicated. I'll give him credit for that.
Oh, no, I told him that's what he should do. He said he was going to try to go to bed and get back into a routine of getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning, when he goes back to school in a couple of weeks.
Why would he do that? I mean, why does any student get up that early? When I was in college, every student tried to get, first class at 11 o'clock in the morning so they could sleep in.
It was kind of funny because he typed me on Facebook, yeah, it's time for me to get back into my 5:30 routine. And I'm like, what? You get up at 5:30? I called him a Rip Van Winkle.
I can see if he was doing that actually has some good points to it. There wouldn't be much noise and activity at that point. It'd be nice and quiet to study. And but that's not the normal student.
mean, I guess I'm about 38 years or so behind where I thought I would have got my ham license originally, and I guess, you know, my interest changed when I got, you know, of that age, you know, that sort of college age, so I don't even really know if I should call them interest, but I changed, there's no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah. Every ham goes through periods where they're active, and sometimes they're not active, because, you know, it's just whether you got time and whether you're interested. So, yeah, people go through these periods.
So I've been doing a lot of studying, thinking about, you know, getting in and out of hobbies. So I did a little bit of studying here these last couple of days. Studying is not the right word, but learning a little more with regards to these kayaks, and I'm getting a better feel for, you know, what they are and, you know, what people look for and so on. But it's funny, so many people on YouTube, for example, do it for the fishing. They get these fishing kayaks where they basically, you're sitting on top of it rather than inside of it.
Great conversation here.
I don't know.
This is what I love about the ham radio.
I want to do. I mean, I would love to be able to fish from it, but at the
I don't
same time, I'd love to
know
be able
these
to
guys
go down
personally.
the river, and I'm not sure that each boat will necessarily work out well in the other sort of footprint. Anyway, just passing that rest stop. You want to go ahead and QSY to Flamanna?
Well, they're about to switch over, so we're not going to hear them anymore.
KK4HUK over there.
Alright, see you in a moment. QSY, KK4HUK.
So I guess you just heard that they switched over to a different frequency that I'm not on. I could get the frequency that they're switching over to, I just don't have it. I have a friend that's actually in charge of this whole ham network that I could call and get that. And actually, you know, that reminds me that I will do that tomorrow. I'll get that new frequency to where they're switching over to, so where I can follow them in the future. But it's that was very neat. You know, the end of that conversation, I'm not sure if you could really hear that clearly, but they were talking about kayaks. The one guy is interested in buying a kayak, and he's noticed through YouTube that a lot of people use kayaks for kayak fishing. And I think that's awesome. You know, that's, y'all know that I have a kayak, and this summer, if y'all stick around for this channel, you're going to see me out on the kayak a lot. So it's the ham radio for the ones that don't know, and I know a lot of you guys are here because of my videos on this Baofeng UV5R Plus radio. And I would love to get up some more videos of that soon. To be honest with you, I haven't spent the time to learn enough about this to share more with you. I made that one video of how to program it for regular frequencies, and you know, if you have a certain request, let me know in the comments of this video, and I'll do the best I can to make you another one. But I use this radio daily just to scan and listen, and you know, I like to listen to the police channels, and I listen to, you know, when the local hams break in, like just there, I like to listen to them. And you know, it's really interesting to hear what other people are talking about, because one day if the cell phone signals go down, that's going to be our only means of communication. You know, a lot of y'all know that, a lot of y'all don't, and it's such a cheap investment. You know, that radio, this Baofeng UV5R Plus, you can get now on eBay for under $40. This radio is under $40, and to get a license to transmit, you don't have to have a license. A lot of comments. You know, I just got one today about, is this legal to listen and scan and hear the police codes and hear other people talk. It is 100% legal to listen in and observe everything. But for me to transmit, which you can transmit with this radio, but in order for me to talk back to those two guys that were just talking, I have to have a license to do that. And in order to get that license, I have to take a test, and I have to pass that test. And I haven't taken my test yet. that's something that's on my list, and I will be doing here within the next, or this year for sure. In 2015, I will have my ham radio license, and I will be able to transmit back and forth. But as of now, I'm just an observer. Alright, my noodles are cooking. My stir fry is done, so I'm going to go ahead and add that to my noodles. Kill this heat here. We're going to stir this in and just let it sit. And this is it. This is dinner, guys. I mean, there's nothing else to it. And I can't take credit for this recipe. I'll be honest, where I got this recipe was from another van dweller. I'm not sure the exact name of his channel, but his Caleb, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll look it up and I'll put it in the description if you're interested. This guy lives in a van and he's traveling all over, and he's very interesting to watch. I've enjoyed watching some of his videos. They're extremely long. That's the only downfall I can say, but and it's not even a downfall. You know, you just got to take some time if you want to watch his videos. They're 30, 45 minutes, sometimes almost an hour. But I've noticed that a lot of the longer videos that I've made have been some of my best videos. You know, the most views. And let's see what we got here.
193.
Let's use will be 10-8, but if you can leave the call open so I can have that.
10-4, 0054.
Now this is a frequency that I cannot communicate back with. Like that was my local police and fire and EMS, so I could not communicate back with them. Now if I was licensed, there is a way to communicate with the fire and EMS, but without being licensed, I wouldn't even know how to do that. But if the signals did go down in our area, there is a way, because I've heard stories of how the local ham can communicate with the local fire and EMS, just to keep communication skills going and determine what's going on in the area. But back to the recipe. Like I said, this is not my recipe. I just so happened to pick up some stir fry. I had tons of ramen noodles on hand, and I saw Caleb cook up this same beef ramen with some stir fry, and it looked good. He said it was good, so I'm gonna try it. But guys, I mean, there's nothing really more to this video other than I wanted to say hello, and I've had tons of people asking for me to make some cooking in the motorhome videos and just showing my life. I mean, this is my life. This is what I do. This is it. I love it. I adore it. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I will mention very quickly, you know, I'm a single man. And I'm newly single. I'm actually newly single as in 1 year as of yesterday. My ex-girlfriend lived in this motorhome with me for almost 2 years. She lived in here for 18 months, and she loved it for 17 months. And then it just got to a point where she wanted to move on, and you know, I understand that, and I respect her for that. She was a little younger than me, and she decided she wanted things out of life that I couldn't give her. You know, I decided that I don't want children, and she wanted kids, and that's great. You know, she deserves kids. She's a great woman, and she's going to be a great mom. But I want people to know, you know, I don't have any special message to send y'all other than live your life. I mean, anything that you want in life, you can have in life, but you have to want it. If you don't want it, you will never get it. Understand that. I was on the phone this evening with a good friend of mine. He's actually, I met this guy through YouTube. He's a subscriber of mine, and he's become a best friend of mine. We talk now almost daily, if not, you know, we definitely talk every couple of days, and I've mentioned him several times. Chico with Rufus and Doofus channel. Please check him out if you haven't already. This old man has just been just a great inspiration to me. He lights a fire under my ass every single day. And you know, when I speak highly of him, he gives me credit for helping him in certain ways. And you know, it's great of how we can communicate with this YouTube channel stuff. And you know, if you have a channel and you're making these videos, let me know. Leave me a comment and tell me to check out your channel, and I will. I want to be a part of your videos, and I want to help you, and I want to do anything I can for you. But the point in all of this is enjoy your life. Live your life. You know, that's what Chico was telling me tonight, is how he wakes up in the mornings and he looks for my videos, and here lately I haven't been making any, and that's what's inspired this video. I would have made my dinner tonight and I wouldn't have shared it with you guys, but he inspired me to do that, and I thank him for that, because I get videos or get questions all the time of people asking me to make these kind of videos, and to me it seems not that important, but I understand how important it is for some of y'all, because I wake up in the morning and I come out here, and you know, when I'm in no mood to make a video, but I get on my computer and I watch y'all's videos. I want to know what's going on in this kind of community. I don't watch this television, even though it's on right now. I don't watch it. I really don't. I'll cut it on just for the light that it illuminates. I don't let this absorb me. I want to watch what I want to watch, which is other people that are living this kind of lifestyle. And I hope that I'm helping and motivating some of y'all to get out there and do your thing. I mean, enjoy life. Life is fucking short, man. I didn't mean to say that. I really didn't, but I'm speaking from the heart right now, you know. And when I say the heart, my heart's weak. You know, I have a bad heart. And I don't know, you know, I might not be here tomorrow. We don't know that. You might not be here tomorrow. That's another reason I started making these videos a year ago, 6 months ago. I haven't been making these long, but life is short. We need to enjoy it. We need to do what we want to do. I'll also say on this note, I appreciate all the support for my past year of sobriety. I was sober for all of 2014. I did not drink, I did not smoke cigarettes, and I did not smoke marijuana for that whole year. And I still will not smoke cigarettes, and I will not smoke marijuana. But I have decided to drink, you know, on occasion. And over the past month, I've had a few beers from time to time, and tonight being one of those nights. And I hope that y'all can respect that decision that I made. I don't know how long it's going to last. I really don't like the decision I've made by going back to drinking. But as of right now, it's, you know, I'm having a few beers. You know, that's the way it is. You know, I'm not going to beat around the bush and try to change anything. It is what it is. Next week I might tell you that I'm sober again. I probably won't tell you that because I'm done explaining myself in those ways. But you know, if you see me have a beer, you see me have a beer. It is what it is. But I am trying to become a better man and have a grasp on my addictions, my problems in life. We all have our problems. Alcohol just so happens to be one of mine. But I'd like to say that I do have control over it. We'll see. I don't know. As of right now, I'm enjoying having a couple beers. But until next time, guys, I hope you enjoyed my cooking in the motorhome and rambling and talking about the old ham radio and Boondock. Boondock. I hope you can see him. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on, say bye. Come on. Come here. Come here. Don't be shy. Come here. Come on. You want to say bye? Until tomorrow, guys, we really appreciate y'all watching our videos. I hope we didn't offend anybody. I hope we only inspired and motivated you to live your life and see what's out there. If you have any questions whatsoever, seriously, I would love to answer your questions. You can message me, comment me. I'd prefer that you just leave a comment. It's easier for me to respond. I try to respond to every comment that's ever left on my videos. I know I've missed some, and I apologize for that, but if you need help, if you want me to make a video on something for you in particular, I'll do that. Just ask me to do it, you know, give me a little patience, you know, give me a little time and be patient, and I will do that for you. Tell them bye. Tell them. Tell them bye. Tell them. Who is it? 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 Alright, guys. Y'all have a good night. Thanks for watching. Live your life, man. Live it. Love it. Enjoy it.